All right, let's talk about how we're going to get you into tech sales in 2025. This is going to be a pretty off the cuff video, and we're just going to get right into the opportunity of tech sales, how you're going to actually get into tech sales. And let me just kind of lay out exactly kind of the framework of what we're going to go through today. So, main thing is going to be what is tech sales? Why would you want to get into it in the first place? Step one, which is going to be your LinkedIn and resume of how to actually get into tech sales and what you need to do there to give yourself a good shot. Step two, how to land interviews. Step three, the actual interview process. What does that look like? And then a little bit of a surprise for you guys at the end. So, first thing that you want to talk about, what is tech sales and why do you even want to get into tech sales in the first place? If you're here, you're probably either in sales and you're looking for a better sales role, or you're in a career path where you don't have control of the income that you're making. Maybe you're working too much and you want to get into a new career path. What I'll say about tech sales is it's the easiest way to make $300,000 or more while working a normal 40-hour work week and not having to go to like Harvard, Princeton, or some prestigious college, right? I mean, you even just to get into tech sales, you don't even really have to go to college in the first place, which is something that we can get into maybe in another video or later in this one. Um, when you first start out in tech sales, what I think is a really cool thing about it is your first year, you're making 85, 100K, 110K as an SDR. Those entry level sales roles, by the way, SDR, BDR, same thing, stands for sales or business development representative. You come out the gate making like 85 to 100K. And then once you're 2, 3, 4 years in, depending on your performance, you are going to be an account executive and you can be clearing 200, 300, $400,000 on really, really good years. Once you're, 6+ years into the career, I mean, there's people making seven figures on those really, really good years, life-changing money. Really good benefits. These are W-2 jobs, really good benefits. You get stock compensation as well. It's great. On the money side, it's really good. The software companies always really have really good benefits, PVT, all that stuff. So in 2025, how do you actually get into this career path? There's two things that you need to have bulletproof, with one of them being the most important. That's your LinkedIn and that's your resume, right? I like to think of that as your professional brand. Your first impression really, really matters. And I think people don't realize how important their LinkedIn and resumes really are, especially in this world, especially your LinkedIn. You can apply to hundreds of, I think one of the number one mistakes, the number one mistake that people make, you can apply to hundreds of jobs. If you have a bad resume and a bad LinkedIn, you're going to come up empty handed. I mean, you're not going to land a single interview. And I mean, that's just the reality of it. And I think, hiring managers are typically going to check your LinkedIn first, right? You need to get your resume on point because at some point you are going to apply to the role, but you need to get your LinkedIn on point first. Um, and the real reason why is because you're going to utilize LinkedIn to land your interviews. My throat's getting dry. So you're going to use LinkedIn to land your interviews. And here's a pro tip for you. Don't just easy apply on LinkedIn. Apply, 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 apply. Don't just do that. LinkedIn is an incredible app and you want to use it to your advantage. Connect with the hiring managers, connect with the SDRs, the AEs at the company, introduce yourself, tell them that you're interested in their company, that you saw an open position, set up 5 to 10 minute, informal calls, whatever it might be, and get referrals that way. SDRs, AEs, people at these software companies are incentivized to give you a referral. For example, at my company, if I refer someone after they're in seat for 90 days, I get a $2,000 bonus. And most of these software companies have that. So you want to be reaching out to these people, creating organic connections, land interviews that way instead of just doing the easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. This is almost like you're essentially doing the job to get the job, right? Reaching out, selling yourself. It's you're doing the job to get the job. Once you're in the job, you're going to be reaching out to people, selling the product, setting up meetings. Right now, you're just selling yourself. You are the product to get the job, right? But you have no chance. No one wants to refer a bum to the company. They're not even going to give you a shot. If your LinkedIn is not presentable, if you do not have a clean professional headline, a clean professional profile picture, background photo, a good about section, and a professional experience, dialed out, put together well, they're not going to want to respond to you. They're not going to want to go out of their way, put their name on the line to refer you. So put your LinkedIn together, get it on point, and then do the same with your resume. That is going to give you your best chance of landing these interviews. And again, I think we live in a world where it's extremely competitive to land interviews right now. Most people are just apply, apply, apply. They're just clicking the apply button. You need to stand out, message them, connect with them, message them, and make sure that when you do hop on these first round interviews, when you do hop on these impromptu calls with the SDR managers or the SDRs, make sure you know why you want to get into tech sales. Make sure you know why you want to work for their company. And this kind of bridges us to the interview process itself, right? Typically going to be like 4 rounds: screening call, the recruiter, hiring manager interview, mock cold call with a hiring manager or two, and then final round, which is usually like a panel, maybe with like a VP, director, that type of thing. Um, Now and you can kind of add that first step of like, it's almost like 5 rounds because that first round is really before the screening call. You're really going to be talking to an SDR, talking to an SDR manager, making sure that, this is the right opportunity for you. You're going to be vetting them and they're also going to be vetting you. Um, a few things that you really want to make sure to do, like I mentioned, if you want them to take you seriously, you need to nail the basics. And the basics are, why do you want to be in sales? Why do you want to be in tech sales specifically? Why do you want to work for this company? And then a couple other basic questions like, tell me about yourself. Tell me about how do you handle rejection? How do you handle failure? And make sure you have stories of a time you handled failure, a time you handled rejection. That's going to be They're almost always going to ask you that on these first couple rounds of interviews. So again, when we're thinking, how are we going to land these tech sales positions? Put your LinkedIn together. Go out of your way to get a professional headshot done. Go out of your way to look at SDRs, to look at AEs that are at these top companies. Go to Amazon, go to Google, go to Snowflake, go to HubSpot, go to Ramp. Go look at what the SDR, the AE, the managers' LinkedIn's look like. It's there for you in public. Emulate that. Make sure yours looks just as good as theirs or better. Put your resume together. Go look at the job description. Make sure you put some of those keywords in what they're looking for in your resume. Give yourself the best shot you can to land these interviews. That's step one, is just putting yourself in the position to even be able to land an interview. That's step one. LinkedIn and resume, get your professional brand on point. Step two, how are you going to land interviews? Reach out to people. Sure, throw in a few applies in there, see if you can't get lucky. But I don't recommend just spraying and praying. Reach out to SDRs, AEs, get referrals, get them compensated to refer you. They get compensated to refer you. If you have a way to get people's emails, you can email them, and make sure, pro tip here, network with recruiters as well. Recruiters literally get paid to place you at their company, right? Most people are just applying online. Recruiters get paid to place you. Be their inbound lead. Get in their pipeline. Be their inbound lead. Tell them who you are. Tell them that you want to work for the company. This is why. Wanted to see if we could hop on a quick call to talk about the opportunity. You're their inbound lead now. They get paid to place these rules. So go talk to them. You'll find them on LinkedIn. Interview process. Be prepared for the screening call with the recruiter, hiring manager, mock cold call. If you don't know how to cold call, you better get on ChatGPT, start getting them to write scripts for you, and practice now. Um, and just be yourself. In the interview process, the number one thing that you can do is prepare. If you prepare, if you do everything that you can, you are going to put yourself in a good spot. Just be yourself, relax, and give it your all. And make sure to, another pro tip here for the interview process, if you really want to land a role, make sure you do your research on the people that are interviewing you. Ask them questions about themselves. Ask them how they got to this point in their career. Ask them why are they excited to work for the company? What are their career aspirations? Hey, I saw that you went from SDR to AE to SDR manager. What made you want to do that in your career path, and how have you liked leadership so far? Do research on them. When they say, hey, do you have any questions for me at the end of this? At the end of the interview, which they always love to ask, don't ask the basic stuff. Ask them about themselves. Show that you've done some research on them, that you've went out of your way to learn, to take the opportunity serious, to take interest in them. People love to talk about themselves, right? People love to talk about themselves. So ask them about themselves. Ask them about their opinion on the company, about their career path, all that stuff. Last thing I want to talk about. If you want to get into tech sales right away, if you want to make sure that you land a job at a top tier company, if you want to have the right LinkedIn strategy, the right interview prep, the right resume, the right real world skills, if you want to have the answers to the test before you take it, I want to talk to you a little bit about the community that I run. I almost didn't want to put this at the end of the video, but if this can even help two or three people that join and us help them get to the spot that they want to in tech sales, then it's worth it. For the past year and a half, I've been running a one-on-one community where I help people break into tech sales. On average, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes faster. If you're an absolute crusher, sometimes it's faster. Sometimes it might take a little longer, but on average, it's about 6 to 8 weeks. I cover professional branding with you, get your LinkedIn, your resume on point, show you step-by-step, predictable process of how we land interviews. And then I coach you through the entire process of getting into tech sales, which again, I think is probably the highest paying career path out there, where you are only working 40 hours a week. For all you high ticket sales guys, for all you outside sales guys, for the people that are just trying to make a switch into a better career path, I built this community for you. We've helped over 60 people get into tech sales over the past almost a year and a half or so now. And I love it. I work with about 4 to 5 people a month or so now. It's all one-on-one based. We've got an online community too with a ton of material that you'll have forever if you decide to join. And essentially it's just, working with someone that's been in the career path for a few years, gone from SDR to SDR team lead to number one SMB AE to mid-market AE, to just help you step by step to make sure that you get at the right company. Also, you get to be in the community. You get to network with the people that are in the community, get the referrals from the people that are in the community, and just gain access to something that you wouldn't be able to if you were not in the community. I'll kind of pause there, just kind of wrapping up the video here a little bit. Again, tech sales, it's not going anywhere. If you're in sales, you want to make good money, you want to have a good work-life balance, you want to have good benefits, all the things, right? All the things that people are looking for in their career paths right now. I didn't even talk about, hybrid / fully remote work life, right? I mean, I don't think there's a lot of career paths out there that offer that. Well, there's a decent amount, right? But tech sales is very flexible, especially for the top performers. You can kind of build your own schedule. If you're performing well, if you're at your number, nobody cares what you're doing. which is one of the best parts about being in tech sales. I'm planning to make a lot more videos here in 2025. This is the first of many. Drop a comment if you have any questions. I'm going to try to respond to all of them. If you have any video ideas, please feel free to drop them. I'll try to make it. And yeah, cheers to 2025. Let's get you into tech sales. Good luck. Let's do this. Thanks, guys.